we've got some models coming in, so we're going to have the 3 looks come in. So we've got our vintage look come in, tuxedo and brides. If you want to come in now, let's let them check it out, and then we'll talk about them after. Kind of on the wrong side now. I'm going to switch it up. We're going to trade sides here. All right. As far as the wedding dress is concerned, Alysses Bridal does design probably about 30 new wedding dresses every year. They're based on just the consensus of what our brides are asking for. So we design and manufacture for ourselves. I mean, we have a designer who works with us. We kind of give her some ideas of what the brides are asking for, and then we design. We have a designer kind of design some things, and we go through that process. So we're glad that we're able to do that, because a lot of the people in the community and actually throughout the world have a need and desire to have something that's already covered up, and at least there's an option, because there's plenty of people who provide the other. But this dress right here is would be considered vintage in the fact that it's an empire waisted dress. A lot of the former trends would be an empire waisted dress. It's not a classic empire waisted dress, because it does have the seam that's below the bust line, but it does have the raised lace on it, which would be kind of more of a vintage look, and but it's more form fitted. So like a true empire waisted dress would probably hang more straight down. But we like to kind of show the girls' figures a little bit. If you'll just stand forward just a little bit. We do have on this dress kind of a train that's attached, and it's a chiffon dress with the lace raised lace on the dress, and the scalloped trim is very more of a vintage look. It just kind of has a little bit of an eyelash on it, which is a little more of a modern take on that. And I'll let Clark talk about the tuxedo.
When I think of a true vintage coat, I would think more of a cutaway coat with a striped pant. But in this area, you don't see them very often. We do provide them for customers who need them. But being more a little closer to the center of the bell curve, this is a peak lapel. In men's clothing, there's really only 3 lapel styles of any significance. This is called a peak, comes up to a point. A notch would look like that, and then the shawl would be rounded. And they come in a lot of different styles as far as different materials. The reason I chose this one, because I think of all the tuxedos, lapel styles, the most traditional, traditional would be the peak lapel. Now this has a slight edge treatment to it. It sets it off a little bit, and then surface interest weave in the material, which would make it different than just a regular flat, classic type tuxedo. As far as this is called a wingtip lapel and a 4-in-hand tie. It used to be that everything was bow ties, but bow ties are not as popular today, although I do think that the trend is going away from the long tie towards the bow tie nationally, but we're usually a year or 2 behind as far as what happens nationally to when it gets to Utah. Sorry about that. It's true, though, and we can watch in the magazines and what have you. I think the trend is more towards the bow tie.
And then we're just going to have a bridesmaid come out that's kind of has more of a vintage look. So she'll come on out. This dress is one that Alysses has, and it is, we kind of call it our Jackie O dress, but it has kind of an abbreviated or a changed boat neck, because if you want to stay covered up, you can't really have a true boat neck. But it has kind of the raised collar. If you'll turn around, she's got the little peekaboo keyhole in the back, and the 3/4 length sleeves are helpful for everybody. I don't like to show my arms just at my age, but I have teenage daughters who love this dress. And then it's kind of a cut. At least at Alysses, we actually have dresses size 0 to like 28. So it's kind of a forgiving cut, and we try to do that with their dresses. So this is a great crimson color. It's very popular. So thank you. So we can have our classic couple come out. Thank you. All right. What she has on, we would consider to be kind of classic because it's a traditional bridal lace, and that is kind of timeless. You can wear that forever. That we've done it more modern by doing kind of this. We've kind of changed the V-neck a little bit, but it does have the traditional bridal lace. It's got the beaded lace applique throughout it, and it's tulle skirt with the beaded lace applique placed on it, as opposed to like an all-over lace. The other thing that we've done that's kind of a modern take is just that it's got kind of the drop waist sash. This is something that's removable, but it's kind of sewn into the seams. You could have it removed and wear something more at the natural waistline as well, but it is kind of a classic look, and we just try to do it in a more modern way.
Okay, this is the notch lapel. This is what I mean by the notch. It used to be, the last few years, maybe the last 5 years, the tuxedos got very tall, many buttons, 5 buttons, okay? The last few years they've got shorter. They've gone from 5 to 4 to 3. And the middle of the bell curve right now is a 2-button coat. You don't see 3 and 4-button coats very much anymore. You typically would have the middle button buttoned and not the bottom button. This coat right here would be Ann Landers, A Wedding at the White House, traditional. The black bow tie is very traditional, and the studs that help accent as jewelry for the guy, and the cufflinks. You will notice that he is showing some cuff. Part of wearing a tuxedo is having cuff show. A lot of times people come in the store and they'll feel like this coat's too short. But the reality is we're trying to show a little bit of cuff, a half to a quarter inch of cuff on every tuxedo. Vest styling right now is by far more popular than the cummerbund. A number of years ago, I couldn't give away a vest. Now I can't give away a cummerbund. But usually, cummerbunds follow with bow ties. And as bow ties come back, cummerbunds will come back. But right now, vest and long ties turning towards the bow tie and the cummerbund. So they're starting to heat up a little bit that way. Okay.
So I'll just have a more classic bridesmaid look. And this is Celeste, and she's wearing a color that's actually very popular right now. It's like a bright pink, or some people use the word melon. We call it hot pink. The thing that makes this classic is that, again, because Alysses has, when you have a bridal party, you'll ask your cousin, you'll ask your, sister-in-law, and then you'll ask like all your best friends. So we'll have bridal parties with up to like size 0 to size 22 in a bridesmaid. So this is a cut that's very forgiving also on your figure, because it's got the pleats right here in the front. So it kind of, leaves you a little room for showing your waist off. But if you have only around in Utah, you'll have like pregnant bridesmaids as well. But it's got a lot of pleating through here, and if you'll turn around, also through the back. So there's kind of room to hide stuff, and it's a little more complimentary on your figure. And we have this dress in you can get it in 20 different colors, and that's a possibility. So
this is a color that we found already for this spring to probably be the #1 color. We call it watermelon. But it's that and the green that was on you'll see it in just a moment, seem to be the 2 colors that are coming up the most. Now, I don't know if things change, but that would be what seems to be on the forefront.
A colors scheme might stay in for like a season and a half, or like a year and a half. So this is really popular right now. It was out. I've been at Alysses for like 7 years. It was kind of in then, and it's kind of come back in again. Mm-hmm. So thanks. And now we just have our modern couple. They'll come out.